Welcome to my channel. Question 126. What is compliance governance? Correct answer: the structure that oversees and supports the compliance program. It defines roles, authority, and accountability. Question 127. What is the role of the board in compliance? Correct answer: to provide oversight and ensure program effectiveness. Boards must be informed and engaged in compliance efforts. Question 128. What is compliance reporting? Correct answer: providing compliance updates to leadership and the board. Reporting enables informed decision-making. Question 129. What is escalation in compliance? Correct answer: raising significant issues to higher authority. Escalation ensures serious risks are addressed promptly. Question 130. What is a compliance charter? Correct answer: a document defining the compliance program's authority and scope. It formalizes the program's role within the organization. Question 131. What is independence of the compliance function? Correct answer: freedom from undue influence or conflicts. Independence supports objective decision-making. Question 132. What is compliance resourcing? Correct answer: allocating sufficient staff and budget to compliance. Inadequate resources weaken program effectiveness. Question 133. What is risk tolerance in compliance? Correct answer: the level of risk an organization is willing to accept. Risk tolerance guides compliance priorities. Question 134. What is risk mitigation? Correct answer: actions taken to reduce identified risks. Mitigation prevents or minimizes violations. Question 135. What is a compliance gap analysis? Correct answer: comparing current practices to regulatory requirements. Gap analysis identifies areas needing improvement. Question 136. What is regulatory change management? Correct answer: tracking and implementing new regulatory requirements. Failure to adapt can cause non-compliance. Question 137. What is CMS program integrity? Correct answer: efforts to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. CMS integrity protects public health care funds. Question 138. What is prior authorization compliance? Correct answer: ensuring required approvals before services. Missing authorization can result in denials. Question 139. What is managed care compliance? Correct answer: compliance with contracts and payer rules. Managed care adds contractual compliance risks. Question 140. What is delegation oversight? Correct answer: monitoring delegated functions to ensure compliance. Oversight prevents third-party failures. Question 141. What is claims scrubbing? Correct answer: reviewing claims for errors before submission. It reduces denials and improper payments. Question 142. What is revenue cycle compliance? Correct answer: compliance throughout billing and payment processes. Errors can lead to fraud and abuse findings. Question 143. What is late charge risk? Correct answer: billing for services after claims submission. Improper late charges may trigger audits. Question 144. What is credit balance compliance? Correct answer: managing overpayments and refunds properly. Unresolved balances indicate compliance failures. Question 145. What is bad debt compliance? Correct answer: proper handling of uncollectible patient balances. Incorrect reporting can violate regulations. Question 146. What is charity care compliance? Correct answer: providing free or discounted care per policy. Documentation supports eligibility determinations. Question 147. What is price transparency compliance? Correct answer: Disclosing healthcare prices as required. Transparency rules improve patient understanding. Question 148. What is surprise billing compliance? Correct answer: preventing unexpected patient charges. Federal and state laws regulate balance billing. Question 149. What is No Surprises Act compliance? Correct answer: protecting patients from out-of-network charges. The law limits patient financial liability. Question 150. Why is continuous monitoring important? Correct answer: to detect issues in real time. Early detection reduces harm and penalties. Question 151. What is compliance effectiveness? Correct answer: how well a compliance program prevents and detects violations. Brief explanation: effectiveness focuses on outcomes, not just policies. Question 152. What is an effectiveness review? Correct answer: an evaluation of whether compliance controls work as intended. Brief explanation: it identifies strengths and improvement areas. Question 153. What is the purpose of compliance metrics? Correct answer: to measure program performance. Brief explanation: metrics help track progress and trends. Question 154. What is a leading compliance indicator? Correct answer: a metric that predicts future risk. Brief explanation: leading indicators enable proactive action. Question 155. What is a lagging compliance indicator? Correct answer: a metric that reflects past events. Brief explanation: lagging indicators show historical performance. Question 156. What is compliance culture assessment? Correct answer: evaluating employee attitudes toward compliance. Brief explanation: culture influences reporting and behavior. Question 157. What is survey fatigue risk? Correct answer: reduced participation due to excessive surveys. Brief explanation: low engagement weakens data quality. Question 158. What is anonymous reporting? Correct answer: reporting concerns without revealing identity. Brief explanation: anonymity encourages reporting without fear. Question 159. What is retaliation prevention? Correct answer: measures to protect reporters from adverse actions. Brief explanation: protection supports a speak-up culture. Question 160. What is compliance communication strategy? Correct answer: planned messaging to promote compliance awareness. Brief explanation: clear communication reinforces expectations. Question 161. What is policy acknowledgement? Correct answer: employee confirmation of policy understanding. Brief explanation: acknowledgements support accountability. Question 162. What is version control in policies? Correct answer: tracking changes to policy documents. Brief explanation: it ensures staff follow current policies. Question 163. What is attestation in compliance? Correct answer: formal affirmation of compliance with requirements. Brief explanation: attestations document accountability. Question 164. What is delegated authority risk? Correct answer: risk arising from improper assignment of authority. Brief explanation: clear limits reduce compliance failures. Question 165. What is compliance integration? Correct answer: embedding compliance into daily operations. Brief explanation: integration makes compliance sustainable. Question 166. What is operational compliance? Correct answer: day-to-day adherence to rules and policies. Brief explanation: operations are where most risks occur. Question 167. What is corrective action tracking? Correct answer: monitoring completion of remediation steps. Brief explanation: tracking ensures fixes are implemented. Question 168. What is issue management? Correct answer: handling reported compliance concerns. Brief explanation: effective management prevents escalation. Question 169. What is compliance case management? Correct answer: documenting and managing investigations. Brief explanation: case management ensures consistency. Question 170. What is substantiated finding? Correct answer: an allegation supported by evidence. Brief explanation: findings drive corrective action. Question 171. What is unsubstantiated finding? Correct answer: an allegation not supported by evidence. Brief explanation: documentation is still required. Question 172. What is partial substantiation? Correct answer: some but not all allegations are supported. Brief explanation: it guides targeted remediation. Question 173. What is management response? Correct answer: leadership's plan to address findings. Brief explanation: responses demonstrate accountability. Question 174. What is closure criteria? Correct answer: standards for resolving compliance cases. Brief explanation: clear criteria ensure consistency. Question 175. Why is trend analysis important? Correct answer: to identify recurring compliance issues. Brief explanation: trends guide preventive strategies. Thank you for watching.